So I kind of hate myself for how much I like this movie. I had such a good time with Red One. I knew it was gonna be not great going into it, and that was true. But I wasn't expecting to like it as much. It was just like a fun movie, and I think the film, as it goes on, especially, it stops taking itself too seriously. Because the thing with these movies, they're fun, they're action, they're popcorn blockbusters, right? There's like not supposed to be like the next great um, like Casablanca or anything, and a lot of these films fall into the trap of trying to be serious and trying to take what they're doing seriously, that it ends up being boring. But this movie doesn't do that. At the beginning, you are laughing at it because it is a little bit stupid and it does take itself a little too seriously. But as the film goes on, it just gets fun and silly, and the film becomes in on the joke. It's like it takes in the crowd and be like, oh, they're laughing at us. Let's just make them laugh with us, and then we do. And it's a great deal of fun. Dwayne Johnson not breaking any new ground here, but consistently doing his thing and doing it well. Chris Evans is essentially playing the fox from Zootopia, but in live action. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, I do wish he'd get a little bit better work, but he does a really good job in this film. J.K. Simmons plays Santa Claus, and he is ripped AF. Doesn't really have a big role because, of course, he's kidnapped and so out cold for most of the film. But pretty impressive, and it makes me want to hit the gym a little bit more. His wife is played by Bonnie Hunt, who is lovely. Doesn't have a big role, and I'm kind of disappointed because I think she deserves a little bit better. But you know, Hollywood, it's a tough business, man. At least they're getting work. But I will have to say, the person that I was most happy to see on screen was Kierna Shipka, because not usually she has like small little roles in films, or like the films that she is the lead of, they're like smaller independent films, right, or little quirky films. But she's full on the villain of this piece, and she does a really good job. But I feel so proud of her for some reason, because you have Dwayne Johnson and Chris Evans, who have starred in big blockbusters before, and then you have her as the villain to these guys, and it's really a cool thing to see because she's so young and up and coming and fresh. And I think whoever decided to cast her, kudos, because that is a very interesting choice that again made this film feel a little bit not so typical. She does a good job, but as great as she was, Krampus, I forget who plays him, but I think he was in Game of Thrones. He's going to be on a lot of Hear Me Out cakes, including my own. He was just, oh my goodness, his character, like that's when the film really turned good. And you've seen the scene that he's in the trailer, but it's a lot more extended in the film, and he does such a good job with the comedy of it, with the physicality of it. I have never felt that way about a demonic goat man before. Well, that's not true. There was Mr. Tumnus from Narnia. But still, it's weird that it happened twice. But yes, I would highly recommend this movie if you're into something that's a little light, fun, or you know what? When it gets to streaming, put it on in the background. You're going to have a good time. Your dads will love this movie. Like, if you have dads, take them to see this movie. This is the type of movie that if it's playing on TV, they'll kind of watch standing up, and they'll just stay standing for the entire runtime. But yeah, I had a great time. The people around me had a great time. There was this lady who was really clapping and in the holiday cheer towards the end of this film, which made me have a lot more of a better outlook on this film. Not for everybody. Some people are kind of cynical and snooty, and I don't think that this caters to those fans, which I can be sometimes too. But not this case. It got me. I liked it. So yes, those were my thoughts on Red One. Ridiculous movie. Does not have any reason to be $250+ million. Half that budget. It could have been made for half that budget. But now that it's here, are you planning on seeing it? And if you do see it, I would love for you to come back and let me know your thoughts, because this is it's a weird movie, but it's ultimately really fun, and it'll hold you over while we wait for Jumanji 3.